Okay, fam, thank you for your patience. There we are. We're ready to go here with Night Moves for Friday, February 6th. I think I've got everything to go. Uh, trying to make a good show here with get some graphics up there and everything. Otherwise, we would have just went fired it up and came on. Definitely had a network issue here. Promise you, it wasn't on my end again for the second time this week, but just awkward timing. Maybe that's when they were uh, fixing their network at the same time, maybe here at midnight Pacific time. So, hey, it's 4 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. here on the West Coast. We're ready for night moves here for Friday and a big sports weekend, baby. Let's go. Ready for the big game on Sunday. We call it the Super Bowl around here. We don't need any of that big game garbage, but should be a great one between red hot teams. Of course, the Patriots have won 16 of 17. Seattle's won 13 of 14. Maybe a little bit of a contrast of the way these teams were built, right? You got the Seahawks built a powerhouse with 13 of their 22 starters coming through the draft. They traded for veterans Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed, Demarcus Lawrence, Leonard Williams, uh, Ernest Jones, Nawasu, Julian Love, those type of players come in to have a veteran laden roster. The Patriots, meanwhile, they kind of did it through the draft a little bit, but they did sign plenty of free agents. Let's make no mistake. Guys like Milton Williams, kind of the glue there, Robert Spillane, uh, Landry, Carlton Davis. But, we know with Drake May, just a second year quarterback trying to become a youngest there to win. Also, three top draft picks starting for the Patriots. A great matchup here on Sunday. Darnold, he's been so strong here, of course, and Drake May, does take a few hits along the way and a few sacks, but if they can keep him upright, Patriots can hang in this game. Come on, it's a Super Bowl. You know, tell me your team's going to win it by a touchdown. We'll see. I'll have my pick for you here in a couple of nights, but you can hear what I'm talking about here. It better be a good game on Sunday. NFL last night with the NFL honors. MVP Matthew Stafford, 24 first place votes. Drake May got 23. Justin Herbert got one. So, well, I guess I don't know if that was the difference, but uh, Stafford, maybe a worthy MVP here. Coach of the year, Mike Vrabel, of course. How about the awkward rookie of the year with Tyler Shuck's stepdad presenting the award to Tedero McMillan? Did they think? I don't know if you guys saw what was happening in the markets for the rookie of the year, but on Kalshi about just a few hours before the telecast, the chart, if you follow, how Kalshi goes, you see how the odds, and then all of a sudden, you saw it the last couple of hours, you saw the word must have got out because Tedero McMillan and Tyler Shuck, their odds were kind of flip flopping in there, and all the money came rolling in. If you follow that type of betting on Tedero McMillan, someone obviously leaked the results there. The betting shut down after that, but poorly kept secret. And then what's going on? Why does the why why do they get introduced by uh, by Shuck's father-in-law there? So a little bit awkward there, but hey, with some other awards in there, of course, Offensive Player of the Year, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Man, we called it kind of early there with him and the great year he had. Defensive Player of the Year, record-setting year, Myles Garrett. And Hall of Fame inductees, Drew Brees. Everybody loves Drew. Play coaching football down in San Diego right now as a quarterbacks coach at Santa Fe Christian High, or at least did last season. He wasn't the only former NFL quarterback coach in high school ball. Luke Kuechly, I think everyone can agree there. Larry Fitzgerald. Adam Vinatieri kind of looks like a controversial pick now with the Patriots kicker going in before their great head coach. And Roger Craig, man, that he could do it with the Niners. So some of the awards there last night. Also announced the Rams and the 49ers will play in Melbourne, Australia next year. It's going to be a long way to go for one of those teams to lose a football game, but for all the players that are complaining about going on these world tours, hey, I'd like to go to Australia. I wouldn't complain for a free trip down under to and then have to play a football game. So, you know what? Much ado about nothing. They want to whine about it. Seems like a pretty good idea. I'd go around the world to play a football game if I still had anything left in me. Thanks for joining me here on the show. I'll quit whining and talk. I just want to talk for a little bit. We've only got 6 NBA games. I picked 3 of the 9 college basketball games. I guess we could have covered them all, but I want to just kind of have the same percentage anyway each day. And thanks for joining me. Let me say, and thanks for being patient, everybody here with my technical issues here. Definitely. Just want to make sure we were ready to go, have the graphics up, and we're able to get it going here for our show here on for Friday. Here, thank you for joining me. Let me go over some of the winners. I'll let a few people come in, man. Sorry about the delay. Hello to everyone in the chat. Plant Base was here, ready to go. Thank you as always for all of your support. Power Critter, Mr. Weskers is here. It was definitely on the Cox end there. Mr. Weskers. I was going through. I think I know what all the colors of the Wi-Fi connector or the internet connection, not the Wi-Fi, but the internet connection stands for on the Cox. But just in case I didn't, I was having a conversation with ChatGPT to tell me what all those colors meant, and I was looking for the solid gray, and the solid gray is what I was looking for. So, okay, Greg Gibson here says he told us the Lakers going to win by 4 points and land on 234. Let me go over some of the winners here on Thursday. We did have some winners here on Night Moves last night, didn't we? Here, as we had the over in Washington and Detroit. That was a winner for us here on Night Moves last night. Also a winner with the Utah Jazz. Yeah, we had the Jazz on the road in that game. They covered easy against Atlanta, getting 10 points or so, lost by 2. We had Toronto there over Chicago. We called for the double digit, or no, I'm sorry, we had the under in that game. I bet on Toronto there, but here's the winners. Charlotte and Houston under. That was a winner there, 109-99. Charlotte keeps going, man. Charlotte's got to be for real here at this point. And also winner here on the show last night, San Antonio Spurs on the road. We came in with the Spurs last night, and they got it done. Obviously, some issues there with the Spurs, but no issue covering the spread, 135-123. And yes, we did have the Lakers and the 76ers under there, although did land 234, as Greg said there. So Greg did have the right call. I did call for the under when we were on the air last night. It was 233. It went up to 236.5. I won't take credit for that, but did go under the final number there yesterday. So that was so-so. NHL action yesterday here on Night Moves. We're able to come home with a winner with the Ottawa Senators on the road there. Also, Night Moves winner here with the New York Islanders on the road, 3-1 over New Jersey. Night Moves winner, Panthers and Lightning game to go over, and it did as Tampa stuffed them in there. Hey, everyone, go over to Tony'sPicks.com and check out our premium picks over there at Tony's Picks every day. You get our top plays. You see me on a lot of channels when the internet's working. See me on a lot of channels, a lot of shows on some of these sports betting channels, but just know that my picks are right here. My best picks every day are at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off premium pick packages. Take a look at the handicapper leaderboards to see who's hot, and then go to their handicapper profile page and get signed up. Folks, Stephen Duncan continues to crush the props here at Tony'sPicks.com. I want you to make sure you're investing with him here at this point. He is really, really strong here right now, really zeroed in on these NHL props for the most part. Doubles in there, 3-0 yesterday. Ron Hahn won his only play. Mills won his only play. Brian Bittler, 2-1 in there. Damian Sosh and Jorge Gonzalez also with a couple wins there yesterday for the last 7 days. You see Steven there really crushing it right now. In there of 15 units. Joey Tron also 12 1/3 units to the profit. Nick Lagaretos, you're going to need a 10.99. I don't even know if that's the right terminology. He's up 11 units over the last week. Jorge Gonzalez up 10 1/4 units. There's Stacks up nearly 10 units this week. I mean, that's 10 units going to get it done, folks. I know you guys have a lot of income streams out there, but you could get some here with these guys. And how about Vegas Al also up there, 8 and 5. Doubles is up there. Ron Hahn as well. Even I'm up there right now, and the rest of the crew. Shane Mickle, Chris Adkins also on that list of successful cappers this week. They're certainly doing better than Bitcoin, and they're doing better than the stock market. So get on over to TonySpix.com and use that promo code. Click on the handicapper profile page, click on the favorite handicapper of your choice, and get signed up. I'm up 3 units for the week, but we'll take that for now. Little college basketball winner, NBA, NHL. Get it done, and let's have a big weekend. Why not join me here this weekend? Hey, I've got some tennis action here coming up in a short time here with 2 matches. I couldn't get a package together, just 2 matches that I'm interested in right now for that action. I had a couple winners there last night with Long Beach State and UCSD over. Man, UCSD, obviously they've declined here with losing their coach to New Mexico. Also, Southern Indiana and UT Martin game there to go under. So, all right. Thanks a lot, everyone, for listening to that. Make sure you head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Check out the best bets of our crew. All right, and get the graphic. Oh, gosh. There we go. So we'll preview our 6 NBA games here. We won't be here for very long. If I just stop talking and do the previews, the show would probably be over by now, but just very fortunate to have you folks joining me. And I don't mind talking a little Super Bowl. I know that some of you just joined me on the weekdays, so hopefully we'll see you on Saturday night for Sunday, but we'll go over everything in the Super Bowl on Saturday. We'll spend probably 45 minutes on the game. I'll go over all the players that I'm interested in, some overs, some unders. Look, I'm not here to bemoan or doubt anybody who just takes overs, and that's fine, because you could just take overs, and as long as you win them, you're good. But I'll try to zero in on every player, every starter for Sunday, and tell you who I think is going to have the up arrow and who's going to have the down arrow on Sunday there in the Super Bowl. All right, who else is here? Greg says, Charlotte's for real. It's Houston that's no good, right? It feels like they reversed roles a little bit. Also, let's see, anybody else joining me here? Hey, there's Robot Clock, and he's got a little double JSN and he's giving a strategy here. Double JSN, make Darnold beat you. Throw into Helani and Bobo. You know, a lot of people want to be on Walker there a little bit. Walker can't block, so they got to bring in Helani, and that does reduce the fact. I mean, there are some plays you got to check out of, and I don't know if you're following just some of the trends here so far, getting ready for the Super Bowl. One that does stand out is that Kenneth Walker has gone under in his rushing attempts prop in 23 straight games. Now, granted, he's had Charbonnet in there, and that obviously took away from many of the attempts, if you will, and maybe Walker was just had his numbers too high for many games. That's 2 seasons worth, though, of going under in your rushing attempts prop. And even since Charbonnet went down, he still has gone under in those games. 23 straight unders for Walker in his rushing attempts, and I believe it is 20 on Sunday. I would imagine if he gets more than 20, that Seattle would win the game. I think that would be a positive stat there for Walker. All right, let's see who else is ready to go. I'll just get into the games here, I guess. And Roger Craig was also a great manager, says Robot Glock. Yeah, he even managed the Padres for a few years. Of course, he had strong years with the Giants. And Cal Dog ready to go on Saturday. Okay, here we go. I think that might be it from some of the comments there. I hope I stay on the air here. And also coming up, not a lot of sports, like I said, with the NHL now going on the break. We did see those games. We did have that situation in the women's hockey there yesterday with Canada and Finland being postponed. The Finnish team came down with basically sound like a stomach virus. 10 players were out for Finland. Usually, if it was pro sports, they'd say, too bad, you play your backups. But I guess Finland can just petition and say, hey, we got some sick players. Let's stick this game on the end, and then we'll condense the schedule a little bit. They're already adjusting, I believe, over there with the women's hockey. But USA beat Czechia 5-1. That was our pick here on the show last night was Sweden there, minus a goal and a half over Germany. Germany scored first on a power play, but Sweden won 4-1. Italy won over France 4-1, and the United States won 5-1 as action got underway in hockey, and also curling got underway yesterday as well. Curling continues today with a match here. In fact, it's underway right now. Italy and Switzerland right now in a important women's curling matchup. If you're following it like I am, also at in about that's a little less than 2 hours, women's hockey will be France and Japan in that one. Japan here, actually. Watch out for this Japan team here. Looking at the current odds in the game, this Japan club coming in taking on France. You'd think that France would have a quality team, and they, maybe they do for the level, but Japan is a 2.5 goal favorite over France. That one starts in about a little less than 2 hours, and then it'll also be Switzerland and Czechia. And Czechia is favored by 2 goals in that one, coming up at 8:40 a.m. Eastern, 5:40 a.m. Pacific time here. I'm trying to get all these times straight right now from Italy. So later on, important games in curling also here. 5:35 USA versus Czechia mixed doubles right now, and also underway USA mixed doubles against Canada currently going on as well. Later on, it'll be let's see, I think that's it. The opening ceremonies will be at 2 p.m. Eastern time and 11 Pacific time on Peacock Live, and then you can catch the prime time airing, of course, later on 8 o'clock on both the East and West Coast for the opening ceremonies. I'm an Olympics guy, so if you're not, I apologize, but we need something to cover here a little bit with the limited card here. We'll get to the hockey too. Hey, I want to say hello to Jay Olson in the chat. Thank you, Jay, for being here. He likes JSN in the game. He likes Walker in there, Barner and Cup, and Shaheed to get a run back. I'm a big Rashid Shaheed fan. He's from Mount Carmel High School in San Diego. So he's already had, in the world of kick returns, you only need a couple to really cement yourself. You're a member of some of the great kick returners. It's not like they had a lot of them. You just have to get kind of a handful to establish yourself among the best of all time, to be honest. Even the greatest kick and punt returners, barely get maybe to 10 in their whole career. And we think of some of the greats that have done it over the years. And Rashid Shaheed has 3 already this season since joining Seattle. Remember, he was on New Orleans for more than the first half of the season, so he is a special talent. And if he could get loose, man, that would be huge for Seattle. Dimitri Mamo in there as well. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Mr. Weskers, Devin Hester, right? A man who did it in the Super Bowl. But Dion was great. Billy White Shoes Johnson. You think of some of the legends anyway that run back kicks. It seems like, when they become an established deep threat, right, on the kick return game, they're always a threat once they're back there. And there's only a few. Someone can do it once, maybe even twice, but if you can do it a handful of times, that puts you among the greats. All right, fam, I think we're ready to go here and preview the games. 6 games. What are you going to do? And we'll take a look at them here right now. In the NBA, get us started. There was also some golf today. There's some overnight tennis, like I said. I'm actually pretty hot there in the golf this week. I don't cover it here on Tony's, but on my publicly available bets right now, I've got 3 of the top 5 golfers. I pick 7 golfers usually for a regular PGA tournament, and focusing on markets such as outright winner this week, winner without Scotty Scheffler pools, also top 5s, top 10s, top 20s, and also head-to-head matchups. And I've got 3 of the top 5 golfers this week out of my 7 right now. Off to a pretty good start, especially with Scotty kind of clunking it up there. Finally, he's not going to win one. If he wins this one, we might have a story. Although, he's not out of it. Certainly, he's still 16-1 despite shooting, I think, 2 under par there. Yesterday, Chris Scotterup leads. He's 3-1. Okay, let me get into it right now and get going here with our NBA coverage, you guys, for Friday here. Okay, not to delay any further. First up, the New York Knicks are taking on the Detroit Pistons. NBA action here for Friday. How about the? You can see I was kind of rushing there with the graphics with my issues here. Nick, you know him as Nick. Oh God, let me get the graphic right here. There we go. Knicks and Pistons NBA action here for Friday. Hey, the Knicks are hot here now. They really put it in overdrive here with 8 straight wins and 8 straight covers right now. They cannot be denied, and they're taking on the Pistons. And one of the games of the year right now in the NBA, the way things are going, the way the Pistons momentum coming in 33-18, and the Pistons are at home in this game, 37-13. This is really a hot matchup, isn't it? One worth watching here in the Eastern Conference, maybe an Eastern Conference Finals preview right now, the way it's going, right, gang? Detroit's been hot too, but they did lose to Washington. Maybe they were looking ahead there last night, 128-117. They were a 17-point favorite. I liked them yesterday, even though our pick was on the over, and we did hit that here on Night Moves. But I thought Detroit would crush them. They must be looking forward to them. And, maybe Detroit just still a little bit of, inexperience as far as, their success this season and how to be focused for a game like Washington. Maybe that's the only way I can explain it. It feels like when you lose a game like that. For the Knicks here, man, let's take all comers right now. We already said how great they have been at home and as a favorite. And, quite frankly, they have not been great on the road ATS-wise, but probably willing to overlook that right now, the way things are going. They are 9-15 against the spread on the road, but 28-19 or 26-19 as a favorite. right now they are favored in this game by 1, I believe, for the most part. I only say it with a little bit of emphasis here. Detroit actually opened the favorite in some markets, in some spots, by 1.5. Even BOL opened them at 2. The Knicks are clearly the favorite here now by 1.5, even at some books. So just make emphasis of, because the Detroit Pistons are 8-1 against the spread this season as an underdog. Now, you usually want a few more points to make that type of trend a little bit more solid here, but they are at home, and that's going to be important. These two teams met, of course, just about a month ago. Detroit walloped them at home, 121-90, a 31-point win. They were 1.5-point dogs on that night as well. But Detroit was able to get the win, and get the money blasted them. But the Knicks had issues at that time, personnel issues, a little bit of a losing streak in there as well. So they weren't ready for that one. But I don't think anybody's saying now that they won't be ready for this one. And obviously the Pistons will be ready off that loss, although should be noted they are the team on the back-to-back here. Also, important news in this game was Jalen Duren. He left the game with a knee injury, and I think he's definitely. I think his status is in jeopardy here in this game. Could see, though, Dario Saric get in this game here, I would think, for the first time, I believe, with Detroit. Josh Hart did have an ankle turn, I believe. He's questionable right now. Karl Anthony Towns has a laceration. He's questionable. Miles McBride is out. OG is probable. So there are some moving parts here, it feels like, right now with this matchup. Let me hear what you have in this one. I certainly think it'll be 50. It might be 50-50 in the chat. Let's go to it. Detroit's won 12 of their last 16, but they've gone just 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 games overall. And we're going to need some winners after dropping a few dimes in the old investment categories there yesterday with the markets. Let's see what you got in the chat. Here we go. Timmy says you got to take the Pistons here in this one. A little bit of reverse psychology, I guess, with the fact that, after losing there last night, and like I said, do you think it was a look-ahead situation? How do you lose? Look, maybe the Wizards are about to turn it around. Maybe they're about to at least be a little better, if you know what I mean, after acquiring a few guys. And, just because the new talent wasn't in there doing things can affect the attitude anyway. Dimitri had a hot day here yesterday. Greg says Detroit lost to the Wizards so they can beat the Knicks in this one. And Jimmy says the Pistons are kind of that team that has the games already predetermined. Knicks and under here for Dimitri. Greg says Detroit is probably waiting for this and took the Wizards lightly. It's still an NBA team, right? Mr. Westers is on the Pistons here. Cal Dog is on the Knicks in this one. All right. You guys are kind of mixed on the side. I don't know if I want to take sides with you guys. I'll just take the total. That's what I'll do. I'm always going to take the total if the chat's kind of split on one way or the other. Detroit's 21-28 to the under this season. They're 12-15 to the under at home. Not a lot of big-time trends necessarily, but they have gone under in 12 of their last 17. Knicks have gone under in 8 of their last 10 overall. So I'll take the under. Power Critters on Detroit here. And I'll go under 220. What did it say? 224? 224.5 there. And I'm showing actually, let me update it here to the sharpest book in Vegas, where they've got it at 223. So I'll go with that number, but it just goes to show I think the sharp books are moving lower here in this one. Thank you, Timmy, for some great prop action there. Appreciate that. And Mr. Wesker says personal with Detroit right now. All right, it's going to be a great one, no doubt about it. Game of the night there with the Knicks and Detroit. Next up, Miami Heat on the road, taking on the Boston Celtics. Celtics here going to be favored in this one, of course, by 7 here now, maybe 6.5. We're seeing it. Some of the sharp books. Total here 230 in this one. This one's ticked up a little bit. Boston's hot right now with 4 straight wins coming in, wins and covers over Sacramento, Milwaukee, Dallas, and of course, as an underdog against Houston, they put it down on the Rockets as well. Boston comes in here 29 and 22 ATS, 19 and 17 ATS as a favorite. Boston comes in to this one in this matchup against the Heat. It has not gone well for the Heat. They've actually lost 8 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams, going 1-8 against the spread in those games. So Boston's won 5 of their last 6, gone 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. Miami has gone 4-1 straight up on the road in their last 5 road games. They've also gone over in 8 of their last 11. Overall, coming in, they're 15 and 11 to the over as an underdog. But Boston's been a hardcore under here right now with 7 straight unders. 12 of the last 18 meetings between these two teams have gone under here as well. These two teams met, about 3 weeks ago. Boston won it 119-114 on the road as a 2.5-point favorite. Boston also won and covered at home 129-116 back in mid-December. There they laid 7.5 and got it done. So I think the trends would kind of point to an under here just because Boston goes under, the series goes under. Miami's been going over here of late, but just the fact that the Celtics, they're the 7.5. Like I said, I don't think it's quite 7.5 right now, right? Got to at least update it here. I'll call it 7, but it does look like there's some 6.5. So maybe there is some take on Miami here. I don't know if I like Miami in this spot, but let's see what you guys have. Maybe I could go to the total, but I might be a little contrarian on this total. Like I said, I think it, with Boston going under quite a bit, I think I don't know about the public. They're never going to kind of shade to the under, but okay, here we go. Timmy Two Shoes on Miami here right now. Mr. Wesker's like Celtics on the spread. Cal Dog like the Celtics. Greg Gibson here with the Gibson ratings there. Timmy Two Shoes likes Miami. Dimitri's on Boston here. They're on fire, he says, right? They're going to keep it going here. I think that's key. You could point to some things for Miami. Like I said, they are playing well on the road here of late, but they've been mostly at home for the last few games. They played that bizarre 3 games in a row, remember, with the Bulls, and then lost at home to Atlanta. All right. Boston ain't playing no games, says Greg. Okay, yeah, let me take Boston here in this one. I'll take them to roll here tonight against Miami. Like I said, 8-1 straight up and against the spread for the Celtics in the last 9 meetings between these two teams. Let's take Boston tomorrow to get it done. All right, next up. Sorry, gang. There we go. Pacers at the Bucks. NBA action here for Friday with the Pacers on the road. Losers of 2 straight right now. Pacers lost to Houston and Utah. They got the money against Houston as a 6.5-point dog, but they were actually an underdog at home against Utah in their last game, and they lost that game against the Jazz. For Milwaukee here. They've won and covered 2 straight. Deep breath. If you are the Milwaukee Bucks and their fans, as it turned out, the Bucks were just asking too much for Giannis. And look, I don't think Giannis's career. I still rate Giannis as a top tier elite player. I really do. I mean, you still see some of the things that he can do. There's not a lot of support around him. Sometimes that makes him not look as good maybe as he really still is to me. And I kind of feel bad. I think he could help lead a team here and contribute to a potential uh, championship caliber club. But he might just end up here the rest of his career. When you saw that on the prediction markets that uh, the heavy favorite there by the time the trade deadline was approaching was no trade or retire. Well, you knew he wasn't going to be on the move. So uh, we'll see. Once he, don't forget, I mean, not to mention, I mean, that was just talking about the actual trade. Giannis right now is still out with a calf injury. Dang's acquired here from the Bucks. He's questionable though to play in this one. Bobby Portis questionable. Gary Harris is questionable for Indiana here. Pascal Siakam is questionable. I don't know if he'll be able to get in this game. Actually, might need a day's rest here. Pacers, the late trade, I think if we covered them all last night, yeah, there were a few more, but Zubats was kind of the last one here. Pacers acquire Zubats from the Clippers. I kind of question the Clippers a little bit with that deal, but they're just trying to get younger, I guess. Zubats isn't an aging guy or anything. Micah Potter questionable here. Nemhard questionable. TJ McConnell questionable. Kobe Brown is out. They acquired Brown as well there from the Clips. And Nesmith is probable here. So let's see what you have in this one. Pacers here on the road, taking on the Bucks. And again, teams just settling in a little bit with some new personnel. It might be affecting the rotations a little bit, but Indiana's lost 17 of their last 20 games on the road, although they've covered the spread in 4 of their last 6. Indiana's gone just 3-6 straight up in their last 9. For Milwaukee, they are 3-8 straight up and against the spread in their last 11 overall. They have covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams in Milwaukee. Milwaukee's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games at home. Indiana's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games on the road. And these are two teams that are definitely under teams this season. They've combined to go under in 41 and 59 to the under. And Indiana is 8-15 to the under on the road, 2-5 to the under as a favorite. Meanwhile, Milwaukee 12-16 to the under as a dog. I'm going to take the Pacers here to win this one on the road. Give me Indiana to knock off Milwaukee here. Let's see if Indiana can snap this 2-game skid and also maybe continue to find ways to win here. Look, they've had a dismal season, but Milwaukee has not been very good either. I'm going to try Indiana in this one. Okay, here we go. Timmy played the Pacers. And Cal Dogs on the over. Greg likes the Gibson ratings in here. I think likes the Bucks. And Timmy says, well, they're not called the Pandas, Timmy. They're actually the Shanghai Sharks. Anybody watching this blowout right now between Tasmania? Tasmania's winning over the Brisbane Bullets right now, 80-46. Anybody checking out the NBL action here with me? All right. Let's see here. I think that might be it from the chat in this one. I'm going to try Indiana on the road. Next up, Pelicans at Timberwolves. NBA action here for a Friday. Look, New Orleans has had a few moments here of late. They've lost 3 in a row, but they've covered a couple in here recently against a good team, against OKC and Memphis, but really over these last 3 games, not very good on the road here. There's a 4th straight road game coming in, and Not only that, they've failed to cover in all three of them. They were actually favored against Milwaukee on the road the other night and lost by 4. We were on Milwaukee in that one. They also lost at Charlotte, at Philly. Didn't really come close in those games. So this one could be a little bit tough. Fortunately for them, they are going up against one of the worst spread teams. Minnesota 17-24 against the spread. New Orleans is 27-25 against the spread. It's just that they're not as good as a road dog as they are as a home underdog for the most part. For New Orleans here, they've come in having lost 4 of their last 5. They've also lost 4 of their last 5 against the Timberwolves, although they are 6-2 against the spread. Their last 8 against Minnesota. Usually they've been getting enough points. Maybe they will again here. Minnesota has been winning here of late. They've won 5 of their last 6, covered 4 of those 6. They did fail last time out in a 128-126 win at Toronto, favored by 2.5, but they won by just 2. Before that, they lost at Memphis. We were on Memphis in that one. Minnesota's gone over in 4 of their last 5. New Orleans has gone under in 12 of their last 18. 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone over, including the matchup here in December that Minnesota won at 125-116. They didn't cover as an 11.5-point favorite, and they didn't cover a previous meeting either at New Orleans back in December when they were favored by 12.5 and could only win by 7. So I think New Orleans can probably hang in here against the Pelicans. Let's see what you have, though, in this one. Maybe I'll wait and make my call because I don't mind the total either here. Let's see what you got. Greg Gibson ratings here has Minnesota in a blowout here. Greg says it's favorites day. Cal Dog likes the Pelicans. Mr. Wester says the Pelicans are a disgrace. Timmy Two Shoes likes some Wolves to hammer here. Wolves, they're a big disappointment spread wise, right? For a team that's 12 games over 500 and 6 games under 500 against the spread, just 17-24 as a favorite. All right, I'm taking New Orleans. I'm taking New Orleans to hang here in this one. Give me the Pelicans. I say hang. They only got to stay within single digits. And like I said, they usually are getting just a tad too many points against Minnesota. It's not like this New Orleans team has been any good in the past couple years, and they're still able to cover these. And the Wolves are not a great cover. Hey, great to see Connor in the chat, man. Connor hanging out with me here late night in Vegas. Great to see you, Connor. Man, what an honor to have you here in the middle of the night. I'm here every night doing this show with some of the regulars you'll probably recognize in the chat in there. Yeah, no doubt, Connor. Thank you, Connor. I needed you in here because, this is the second time this week, actually. Maybe you crashed early 2 nights ago when the same thing happened, and I couldn't get my show on the air for an hour because of that. And here, Connor, who just lives a short ways from me, I think he lives south over here, is proven me that I wasn't just sleeping in before the show. I definitely was down here, and we got back on. So hopefully you're back on, Connor. I'm using the internet now. So all right, let's see who else. Hey, you want to say hello also to Giovanni Traversier? Yeah, I said it. I hope I'm right, Giovanni. Giovanni Traversier says, take the Timberwolves plus and lay it. I think he's saying lay it in there. All right. And Pell's first half for Timmy in there. All right. Yeah, I'll try the Pelicans in this one. Next up, Grizzlies taking on the Trailblazers. NBA action here for Friday. Blazers favored by 7.5 here, total 2. Looks like it's gone down here just a tad to 230, 233, 232.5. Let me at least take off the hook there, it looks like. In this one, Memphis coming in here. A couple of wins in a row here for Memphis. Wins over Sacramento and Minnesota. They covered them there. Both they were underdogs in those games, and they won. Uh, just couldn't get it done. No one wants John Morant. That's all it came down to. I mean, they even tried to lower the price, but no one was interested in this player. And you got to wonder what his future is. I mean, I'm sure he'll be in there, still get back in there for Morant, but it is kind of feels like a little bit of an insult that nobody really wants this guy on their franchise. So that's how it ended up. That's who's going to stay on the Memphis Grizzlies here right now. Grizzlies do have some issues coming in. Morant's still out, of course. Ty Jerome, he will miss this game. Scottie Pippen Jr. questionable, and then the three players that they've acquired here, Hendricks, Clayton, and Anderson. We'll see if these guys make the lineup at all on Friday night. For the Blazers, Avia, he's questionable. That back problem troubling him here a little bit right now, and Henderson is probable here for Portland. So let's see. That's still a big number for this Blazer team. That, man, what's happened to our Blazers? We were loving them there for a while and making some money with them, but it's been bad news here of late. They play some tough teams in here for sure. Lost to Boston, New York, Cleveland, and Phoenix. So let's just put it where it is, right? I mean, they did lose to Washington on the road. But that was kind of towards the end of kind of a long trip there. But still, Blazers have not been what we've seen from them. They're still 15-11 against the spread at home, and Memphis is a terrible underdog, 11-20 as an underdog right now. Also, Memphis 8-15 to the under on the road this season. We know Portland's been a good home favorite or over team as a home favorite. They went they're 13-5 to the over as a favorite, 15-11 to the over at home here in this one. I don't know. I think more trends towards what Memphis does on the road than what Portland does necessarily at home. Portland, meanwhile, does come in here with a 27-24 spread record coming in, and Portland's lost 6 straight right now, 1-5 against the spread in their last 6. Memphis 2-6 in their last 8. Memphis just 4-9 against the spread. Last 13 against Portland, still kind of a dicey number at 7.5 right there. I'm going to take the under in this one. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. Portland's gone under in 12 of their last 18. Meeting back in December did go under at Memphis, 119-96. So that one went under right about this number. It was 232.5 in that one. Memphis ended up clobbering them at home. I'll take the under here with Memphis and Portland here on Friday night here on Night Moves. Let's get the chat going here, see what this group has right now. And okay, Connor said, yeah, Connor there. There's Real Madrid. Hey, there's a Real Madrid Doge as well. Nice to see him in there talking about Connor's great show with Bobano every day. Thank you, Doge, for showing up. Thanks for all the retweets as well. Good to see you. And Mr. Wesker says these two are coming back. Yep. Connor, I've been on them for like an hour. Where you? But it might have been like me. What do you do when you don't have internet and you're trying to get a show together and you're getting all pissed off like I was? You make some garlic bread, all right? You make some garlic bread, and you're like, now I can't even eat it because I have to get the show on the air. Just as if my garlic bread was done, the internet came back on. How about that? All right, Cal Dog here's on the under. Doesn't that look like some good bread I made? I'd sure love to eat it right now. All right, Mr. Weskers may just take Memphis. He figures he can win one of them for sure. It's a great strategy sometimes. Just take the underdog twice. You figure at least they'll get one, and then maybe they can get both. Gibson ratings here says 120-113. And let's see. Thanks a lot, Connor. Good luck tomorrow. And don't forget, oops, wrong channel. Connor. Maybe we'll see Connor here this weekend. All right, let's see here. that might be it for you guys in the chat. All right, did you like that garlic bread there, Connor? Looked pretty good, huh? All right, got to make the call on this one. I'll take the under. Let's go to our last game, man. There's only 6 games here, and I picked 3 of the 9 college games. I don't know, probably should have done them all without any hockey here tonight, but let's go to my Clippers on the road, taking on the Kings. So, well, I guess my guy Kobe Sanders is going to have to hit the bench now with the new Clipper lineup. But hey, that's okay. He did a great job in there starting. For my guy, he can always say, you know what? When I started for James Harden, is what he can say before Harden got dealt. So my man Kobe Sanders can say, at least when I was in there in the NBA, I started for James Harden, and he'll get a great role here on the bench with this team right now. He actually may start this game tomorrow. We'll see what the Clippers end up doing. Who's in here for the Clippers right now? I'd almost say that Sanders gets one more start. Let me see who's in and out right now. Isaiah Jackson is out. Ben Mathurin is out. I think that will, even though those guys are kind of front court guys, I think that's going to Garland's still out here with the toe injury. Of course, he's not ready to go yet. So I think Kobe will get another start in here at this time. Probably you'll have Chris Dunn in the backcourt with him, Kawhi and Collins and Brooke Lopez, I would imagine. So, okay, let's see what you have here with my Clippers on the road, taking on those Queens. For Sacramento here, we know this team is in poor form once again. And, Clippers have lost 2 in a row, and I know it's easy to bag on them a little bit, but, man, it's been such a strong run. They did lose to Cleveland. They lost to Philly. Philly's been playing out of their mind, but they really haven't looked too good in these last 2 games. Really since the pressure of the trade deadline kind of caved in on them a little bit. But Sacramento's in a massive losing streak here right now, so the Clippers better be able to handle the business. Sacramento's lost 10 straight games, coming in, going 1-5 ATS in their last 6 overall. Clippers have won 5 straight meetings against the Queens. Clippers have covered 13 of their last 20, won 10 of their last 14 still overall. Sacramento's gone over in 6 of their last 9. 6 of the last 8 meetings between these 2 teams have actually gone under here. This one's kind of might have opened 2.5 up to 3.5, and this total's kind of moved higher as well up here. Look, I don't want to go against my Clippers here. The Kings, this might actually be the spot for the Clippers here. And I do love my Clippers unders, but I'm going to go over in this one with the Clippers and the Kings here on Friday night. Clippers are 15-11 to the over on the road, and the Kings have had a few overs here of late. Let me take the over because I think this might be a Kings spot, and I don't want to necessarily go with them just yet. Let me dial it in tomorrow and see what happens. Clippers do own this series. So, all right, I guess that's it for the NBA. Let me get your comments here on this final game, and then that'll be it. And let's see who else. There's Mr. Weskers was on the Kings. Greg says Clippers here. I think that'd be a cover, says Mr. Weskers. Cal Dogs. I hope that was his winner from yesterday and not his card for tomorrow. I just want to say Giovanni Traversier again. I hope I'm getting it right, Giovanni. Kings to win. Cal Dog on the over. And if Leonard's plays, Greg says they'll get it. Westers on the Kings money line. So we do have some Kings support in there, I think. I don't want to go against the Clippers here against this Kings team, but I might end up on the Kings tomorrow. All right, I guess that's it for the NBA. Just 6 games, man. Where's the hockey? All right. I've picked out 3 games in college basketball on the 9-game card, probably the top games of the card, I would guess, here. On a light night of college basketball, getting ready for a huge Saturday. Let's get into it here right now. And head out to the A10 here in this one with Dayton and VCU in this one. Dayton 6-4, VCU 8-2. And oh, St. Louis still trucking along there in first place, but VCU has a chance still to kind of hang with them. Mason is also 8-2 right now coming into this one. VCU favored by 7. Total 149. It's been a bad season for Loyola of Chicago. Look, I don't want to go back to the Sister Jean effect, but she did pass away this year for this season, and this team just hasn't been the same. Well, but they are coming in off of a win here over LaSalle, 71-61 at home as a 2.5-point favorite. That stopped their losing streak for Davidson right now. They come in off of a loss to St. Louis at home. They were getting 9.5 in that one. They covered by the hook in that game, 91-82. We know those games with St. Louis always going over here, it feels like, with the Billikens. But for VCU, do I have the right game? Do I have the right game going here right now? Oh, man. Oh, shoot, you guys. Oh, apologies in there. Okay, that might have been my bad. Between the internet going down and programming the show, I guess I actually put in the wrong graphic here. Let me go ahead and go with Dayton and VCU. That was the game that I was focused on anyway. Let me regroup on that one. Look, we can cover that game. The Loyola game is not as important as this game is. That's for sure. Okay, let me get it from this angle. VCU comes in here on a big winning streak right now, looking pretty strong here. They're coming in off of consecutive wins here, but they did not cover. They've won 6 straight, but just 1-4 against the spread. They beat Richmond, Loyola of Illinois, and Fordham here in 3 straight games, but didn't cover the spread in any of those. They were laying a few points for sure in those games, but for Dayton here, they're just 1-4 straight up, and they failed to cover in 5 straight, so they're struggling here. They did beat Bonaventure last time out, 72-70 as a 7.5-point favorite, but Dayton comes in just 2-6 ATS. VCU is one of the worst spread teams at home this season, 4-11 against the spread overall here. These two teams have not yet met this season. Last year, it was VCU winning at Dayton, and Dayton won at VCU in their 2 matchups. Dayton comes in here having gone under in 8 of their last 11. VCU's gone under in 4 of their last 5. However, 13 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams have gone over. VCU, they're on a roll, and Dayton not so much. Can they lay 7 here? Let's get your play in the chat. Sorry for the confusion. You guys go off the graphic anyways, so that was the game we were going to cover here, but let's go to the chat right now. All right. There's Mr. Weskers. He hates my favorite team. Let's see here. Dimitri is on VCU. Mr. Weskers is on VCU as well to roll here. Timmy Chushu's on VCU there. Also, Power Critter. Man, it's all VCU here. Cal Dog likes the under here in this one. All right. Well, you guys like VCU. I guess I do too. I'll just take VCU here to roll over this Dayton team. I'll lay the points with VCU. All right. And let's see. I don't have a graphic for the Davidson. I did my notes on Davidson as well, but all right, let me go to the next one here. These are the ones I really just did. I was having scrambling there a little bit too to get the show together because of the internet outage. See, I told you, gang, it wasn't me. I'm glad Connor came in to say that so it doesn't look, because I had the same problem the other night, and to have it twice in a week, it makes you look I pride myself on this consistency. Hey, we got a great game here. Look at this one, Connecticut and St. John's. This is the Friday night feature for sure here. A big game with UConn coming in here, taking on the Johnnies. And both the teams riding winning streaks right now. Connecticut cruising along here at 22-1. St. John's has won 8 in a row. They're 17-8. Feels like look, it's only a 1.5 point spread. You know how dominant has Connecticut been. St. John's does have 5 losses, but I think it just shows you here where these two teams stand. This one's on Fox. For Connecticut here, as good as they've been, they're still 8-15 against the spread overall, an underachiever. 7-11 ATS is a favorite. This is only the second time all year St. John's has been a dog. They did win and cover in their only other opportunity as an underdog. St. John's comes in here 6-7 against the spread at home, but they are 6-2 ATS in their last 8 games overall. Connecticut just 2-9 in their last 11 games against St. John's. They're also just 2-7 against the spread in their last 9. But we know how solid they've been here all season long. But I don't like this team. I never liked Connecticut right now. But they did win and cover against Creighton and Xavier last time to get a couple of covers there. Before, when they were laying double digits, they failed against Georgetown, Villanova, and Providence. But like I said, they did rock Xavier at home. For the Johnnies here, they're getting their covers. They're off of a cover over DePaul last time out, laying 9.5. They won by 12. They also covered big time Roland Butler by 20, favored by a dozen in that one. So, I'm all over the Johnnies in this one. Here I might be with my red-colored glasses in this one, but I'm going to take St. John's here to beat Connecticut in the big game here in this one. St. John's is 8-5 to the under at home. 9 of the last 13 meetings, however, between these two teams have gone over. Connecticut's gone over in 4 of their last 5, and St. John's gone over in 5 of their last 7, even though these two teams slightly under teams this season. Let's see what the chat has here in this one between the Huskies and the St. John's Red Storm, the Redmen. Did I say it? Let's go to the chat here. Cal Dog liking UConn. I think Huskies and under here for Timmy Two Shoes. And yeah, I think that's one thing I to be fair to UConn here, right? They're guilty of laying too many points here in a lot of these spread games. Obviously, when you're 22-1 and 8-15 against the spread or whatever it is, that's what it is. But you're just laying too many points all the time, and here you're only laying 1.5. So give Connecticut a little bit of credit for that. UConn likes, or Mr. Westerns likes UConn to win. And, eventually it's got to rub the referees the wrong way, right? And Timmy liking the under here possibly. I think that's the way I would actually go too, even though, like I said, this series isn't over. And of late, these two teams are going over right now. But at 144, I might be looking under. Anyway, this line, I got to correct this line too. Even though I'm on St. John's, I know I can get 2.5 out there at least right now. In fact, Circa here in Vegas is at 3. So let me at least be fair to myself. And I think St. John's will win, but the spread's 2.5 right now, minimum. All right. And Mr. Wester says it'll be a 3-point game. So too close to call there, maybe. And, of course, yeah, he says there, these two teams have not met yet this season, but St. John's won a couple of meetings last year, including the one here at home, 68-62 as a 4-point dog. All right. And we got one more. We got Illinois, Chicago. How about that? We got Belmont coming in and Illinois, Chicago here for our last game here. Just doing 3 games tonight. Probably should have did more. I'll tell you what. If the internet was working, I was doing more actually, but wanted to get on the air with you guys. And hey, it's a light Friday night here, so that's all right. Let's take a look here at this one between Belmont and Illinois Chicago. Belmont on the road here, 3-point favorite in this one, maybe 3.5, total 150.5. We know it's been an incredible season here for the Belmont Bruins. Just here comes Belmont every time, right? Another strong season here for the Bruins. Just 21-3 right now. They're unranked at this point. I don't know if they'll, get up there into the top 25 at all, but eventually you got to start to consider them sometime here. Taking a look right now at the MVC standings, you got Belmont here, 11-2, winners of 8 in a row. Murray comes in 9-4, Bradley 9-4, and Illinois Chicago coming in here right now at 8-5, although they are in off of a loss last time out to Murray. Fair enough, lost 81-74 as a 6.5-point dog, didn't cover by half. Belmont, meanwhile, wins and covers here over Drake and over Murray here as part of this 8-game winning streak right now for Belmont. With Starowski in there and Lindblade as well, McLean, some of these guys that have made this team so good this season. They did play their first matchup already. It was 87-84 Belmont, but they did not cover at home against UIC in that one here. Look at UIC. I mean, they've been doing a great job. Sure, barely lost to Murray or barely didn't cover against Murray, but covers over SIU, Bradley, and Evansville as part of this, nice run. UIC is having a strong year, it feels like here right now, even though they're just 13-11 overall. They are 8-6 at home as an underdog, and Belmont 9-11 against the spread as a favorite. So, look, I think it can be a close game here, as dominant as Belmont has been. Let's see what you have here in the chat in this one between Belmont and Illinois Chicago. Go to the chat here with these two. See what you have in the chat. Belmont has covered 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams overall. They've covered 4 of their last 5. Coming in, Illinois Chicago was on an 8-game winning streak of their own before losing that last game to Murray. They are 5-1 in their last 6 at home, 7-2 against the spread in their last 9. And let's go to the chat right now, see what you got here in the finale. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time in this one. All right. And Cal Dog likes the over here in this one. Timmy Two Shoes likes Illinois Chicago. Mr. Weskers likes Illinois Chicago here. And let's see here. Also over there, looks like, for Timmy Two Shoes. Both meetings last season did go over with the winning team score, with Belmont scoring not only that 87-84 game, but the other game. That was actually back in December, actually. Last year's meetings were 92-87 and 75-60. The meeting in December, which I did say correctly, but just was mentioning it doesn't matter. Belmont's won them all over the last couple of years, so maybe this will be close enough. But look, the Belmont doesn't usually cover against Illinois Chicago, so let's grab 3 points. Take the Flames tonight against Belmont in another pretty good game here on the Friday night card. All right, I guess that's going to do it here for Night Moves. Really appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you for being patient once again. Hopefully we'll get this. I guess it's just some figure it happened at the same time the other night with this internet here, so maybe it is just a little bit of a maintenance they're doing. Hopefully we'll be ready to go at 3 a.m. Eastern and noon Pacific here the rest of the weekend. And seeing Nick Marshall getting Nick Marshall, how about it? I mean, ended up here with the Jack Jumpers, and they just crushed the Brisbane Bullets just now. All right, enjoy the Olympics tomorrow. We'll just get back to the hockey here soon in the Olympics for the next couple of weeks. We'll resume hockey when we come back. We'll cover the games here a little bit. Don't forget, about an hour to go here. We'll have some women's hockey tonight there, as I said, in just a short time here with Japan and France, followed by Switzerland and Czechia. Thanks to everybody for joining me here on Night Moves. Don't forget, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Check me out over there and use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off those premium pick packages, including mine, here on Friday. Look, I got a couple of tennis matches loaded up in there right now. Couldn't get a package together, just two matches I was interested in overnight here. It's also some Friday fixtures tomorrow across the pond with Forest taking on Leeds, Pisa and Verona over in Italy, Osasuna and Celta de Vigo in Spain, and one game in the Bundesliga, Frankfurt and Union Berlin, and in France it's Lille and Metz tomorrow. So, all right, be back tomorrow. More Night Moves for the big card on Saturday. We'll be loaded up with college basketball here tomorrow as well. That's going to do it. Thanks for joining me here. Thanks for your patience once again. We'll see you tomorrow here with more Night Moves. And for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 50,000 subscriber juggernaut, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Night Moves.
Final.